This is insane, says James, and yes, wow. Tesla has partnered with Uber to make their new inventory vehicles available for drivers to purchase on the Uber vehicle marketplace. Uber is offering up to $3,000 for people who take delivery by December 31st. It's a bit unclear if this discount comes directly from Tesla or Uber, but when you click the Uber Tesla referral link and it takes you to Tesla's inventory page, the inventory discounts are already included, and a lot of them are bigger than $3,000. This makes me think it's coming from Uber, says Sawyer, but I could be wrong. You also have to complete 100 trips to get the $3,000. So because you have to complete 100 trips before getting that discount, I think it is coming from Uber, but then you have to take delivery before December 31st, which makes me think it's coming from Tesla. But then I read some of the conditions, and the discount amount depends on how high your Uber rating is. So the higher your rating, the higher the discount, which makes me think it's coming from Uber. But I think probably both Tesla and Uber are contributing to these discounts. This is actually pretty important news. Tata Motors lobbies India not to lower EV import taxes, and it looks like it actually worked, because in blow to Tesla, India says it is no longer planning to cut EV import taxes. So there's a good chance that we might see a delay for Tesla in India. And maybe that's why Tesla is looking so actively into Thailand. And that's why perhaps Tesla is following through with the next generation vehicle in China. I totally call this one very much. I say I would not be surprised if we see Elon Musk starting a university. I said that 2 or 3 days ago, and now we see that Elon Musk is planning to start a university in Austin, according to tax filings for the billionaire's latest charity called the Foundation. The new institution, seated with a roughly $100 million gift from Musk, will start a STEM-focused primary and secondary school. Once that's operating, it intends ultimately to expand its operations to create a university dedicated to education at the highest levels. The name has already been chosen a few years ago. It will be Texas Institute of Technology and Science. So the acronym is spelled TITS. And Elon promised that it will have epic merch. I believe him. I saw some people say that this will further distract Elon away from Tesla, but I strongly disagree with that. Think about it. Tesla needs the best of the best of the best to work for Tesla. Do you think the smartest people, the smartest kids will not want to go to this school? Of course they will want to go to this school. So if you are going to Elon's school, naturally, are you more likely to end up working for Tesla? Yes. This is not a distraction. This is Elon recruiting future talent. But it will take a very long time to see tangible results for this. So if you want to say in the short term it's a distraction, sure, definitely. Maybe even in the next 10 years we won't really see any benefit from this. But later, I think it will benefit Tesla eventually. Tesla has just released the full Cybertruck parts catalog. And we found out about a few interesting things. For example, the Cybertruck front bumper camera is heated and has a washer. The heat will help any snow melt away if you are in Canada like I am. The Cybertruck's 4 feet long wiper arm and blade assembly will cost $165 to replace. The giant windshield, though, will cost $2,300 probably, including taxes and labor. For comparison, here are F-150 pickup truck windshield wipers. They are a lot cheaper. Interestingly, the bed cover has 2 motors instead of just one. I guess if one breaks down, it will still work. Now, getting back to the windshield wiper, you probably only will need to replace the $75 part. It's made out of 2 parts, so it's not really too bad. There's a mostly positive article on Bloomberg. Tesla is investors' standout bet in a hazardous EV landscape. We know that shares of cash-burning startups like Rivian and Lucid have tumbled nearly 90% since the heyday of late 2021. So EV investors may start to wonder if they are in the right theme at the wrong time, said Nick Colas. And while I would not be surprised to see Tesla fall significantly from here because it's just so volatile, in the long term, I believe it is going to be a phenomenal investment. I just do not see how any other EV maker can sell these vehicles at a lower price and still survive. Brian Milbury, client portfolio manager at Zacks Investment Managers, said of Tesla. He manages about $15 billion. Meanwhile, traditional automakers such as GM and Ford are on a colossal spending spree to catch up in EVs. And you want to pay attention to this one. Morgan Stanley's Adam Jonas found that the two companies spend the equivalent of their market capitalizations in 1.9 years and 2.6 years respectively on capital expenditure and research and development. An average S&P 500 company takes about 50 years to spend its own market valuation on those areas, and for Tesla, that number is 69.4 years, which means Tesla is incredibly efficient at deploying money to come up with new innovations, and GM and Ford are not. GM just increased the dividend and the buyback for its investors, and they're just spending money like that. Morgan Stanley says this cannot continue. He wrote of GM and Ford in a research note late last month. He sees 2024 as a year that may determine the long-term relevance of the U.S. legacy auto companies given their rising capital expenses. I mean, Ford said that they are cutting F-150 Lightning production, so that production is going to come down lightning fast. And there's a good point here, but I disagree with one very strongly. Tesla has a strong balance sheet and is well positioned to ride out the 2024 EV winter, but I worry that it may not be able to keep up with the rest of the technology space, said Ivana Delevska, Chief Investment Officer at Spear Invest. The current valuation assigns significant value to the full self-driving technology, which is not something we expect to materialize in the near future. I don't really think that people really assign a lot of value to FSD. Some retail Tesla stock investors do, but institutions, no, not really. So I think it's mostly not priced in. And to say that the current valuation is not justified with just the auto business, I disagree with that. But Wall Street only expects how many deliveries in 2030? Their expectations as of July this year were not even 6.5 million deliveries in 2030. So if you are that bearish about Tesla, then I understand this point of view, but anything less than 10 million, I think would be really unlikely. Interestingly, this whole article does not mention the energy business even once. So in 2030, looking back, I think a lot of these analysts are going to say, oh yeah, we missed Tesla's energy business. How did we miss that? By focusing mostly just on the short term is how they are going to miss. But in the meantime, the Motley Fool's RJ Fulton on Tesla said, although recent economic challenges like inflation and high interest rates have dampened growth prospects in the near term, these will prove to be minor speed bumps. Few other companies hold as much long-term upside as Tesla. Don't be surprised if it becomes the most valuable company in the world a decade from now. Now, this is the right question to ask. Where will Tesla be in 10 years? So many of these channels are just focused on where is Tesla going to be 6 months from now, 12 months from now, because a lot of them make money when you trade. They want to tell you something so that you go and sell your stock and then you buy later and then you sell it again and then you buy it again. I don't do that. And a lot of these money managers, basically the way they sell themselves is, oh, well, you're too busy. You got a job or a business, and if you want to trade, you have to spend all of your time doing that. Because to do it well, you need to focus all your time on trading, but we just focus on it, so let us manage the money, and many people give them money. But the thing is, they pretty much all of them underperform the market, so if I was to do that, I would just put my money into S&P 500 instead. But I believe that Tesla is going to widely outperform S&P 500 in the next 10 years. So I'm just putting my money in Tesla stock. I'm also right now really interested in SpaceX because of the successful rocket launch. And I'm also highly interested in investing in X/Twitter. SpaceX stock, for example, went up over 30% roughly in the last 12 months. Billionaire Ron Barron thinks that SpaceX will be bigger probably than Tesla actually. And X/Twitter is only valued at $19 billion right now, and Elon wants to make it the most valuable financial institution in the whole world. So if X, for example, became bigger than JP Morgan Chase, then that would be a 25x. I just want to invest into these two companies from my cash flow, so I'm not selling any of my Tesla stock. SpaceX, I think, should be not too difficult because there are private companies that you can work with and you can buy some SpaceX stock. I'm not sure about X/Twitter though. I'm still looking into that one. Maybe I won't be able to buy any of that one. We know that Tesla Sweden has 350 employees, but how many of them are on strike? Nicholas investigated and he put together these numbers by location, and the number is 13. 13 people are on strike. And this is despite the unions paying the employees 130% of their salary. So it actually makes sense to go on strike if you want to make more money, at least in the short term. And yet, no one is striking. And Tesla is hiring someone new in Sweden. It will be in the Legal and Government Affairs Department. So Tesla is basically hiring a lobbyist here. In the meantime, in Sweden, a labor union decided to stop picking up Tesla's garbage. Delivery dates have been updated for the Tesla Model 3 and the Model Y long-range trims in China. They are now down to 2 to 6 weeks. Previously for the Model 3 it was 6 to 9 weeks, and the Model Y was at 6 to 8 weeks. The exact moment Tesla starts selling German-made EVs in Germany, the German government ends the EV subsidy. So yeah, EV incentives in Germany will run out earlier than previously planned. And Bradford is calling out the German government. German government, please tell us who those subsidies were really intended for. I don't really have much of a problem with this. I mean, it's pretty obvious when a foreign company comes into your country, you don't really want to subsidize that company, you want to subsidize a local company. Tesla Powerwalls have just entered 2 new markets, one in Asia and one in Europe, so that's good. GM's Cruise robotaxi unit dismisses 9 executives after the safety probe. It also faces a fine of $1.5 million, so that's really just a slap on the wrist. That's nothing for Cruise. And on top of that, GM just said that it will lay off 900 people, or 24% of its workforce, at Cruise. Alexander says, sad for the crew, but the writing is on the wall. Now, my question here is, do they really still have a wall? This whole situation just keeps getting worse and worse and worse and worse. GM just keeps falling behind. GM delays another major EV initiative after pushing back these EVs. This particular plant in question was supposed to start building units in Q1 of next year, so very quick, very soon. But it has now been pushed back to 2024 Q4. And Mary Barra just actually gave an interview. She gave Tesla a little bit of credit, but then she actually pushed back against Tesla. She said, I do have to give Tesla a lot of credit because I think they have stayed committed and worked through the years and getting to scale and growing. They have really helped the EV market. I think now, so we're meant to write now there, I think now there's a lot of OEM competition to Tesla. So Mary continues to lead GM into inevitable collapse. Tesla's stock is up today. As I'm recording, there are still a few hours before the market closes, but the market is, well, S&P 500 is not doing anything today at all. But you look at the EV stocks like Rivian and Lucid, these are up over 10% today. Ford is even up 6.3%. And that's because of what we learned yesterday from the Fed. They are leaving rates unchanged, and they indicated 3 rate cuts coming in 2024. So interest rates coming down would actually be really good for growth stocks like Tesla, and especially because the products that Tesla sells require a loan. Consumers being able to get loans at lower interest rates will help Tesla sell more vehicles. This is not the best news for Tesla in Europe. France says no to EVs made in China. Today, France has revealed its list of electric vehicles now eligible for federal tax incentives of up to 7,000 euros. And EVs made in China, including Tesla's Model 3, did not make the cut. It might make a lot of sense for Tesla to start manufacturing the Model 3 in Europe, in Giga Berlin, but we'll see how it goes. Waitlist opens for Range Rover Electric, set to debut in late 2024. There is not much info right now, but I'll report when there's more. And GM is also going to release a new EV in 2025. They are calling it the Vistic. It's an all-electric 3-row SUV that will sit between the Lyriq and soon-to-come Escalade IQ. GM Didn't release any specs though.
You might be wondering, well, wait a minute, these sharp edges, you're going to cut yourself. But it's all been rounded off, so you don't cut yourself on it, thankfully. Nothing else on the road looks like this.
So like I said earlier, it's not going to be a problem.
Come on, join in, guys. Ah! You can do that and it won't break. And the headlights are actually underneath here. These are the headlights. And you've got matrix LED, so they'll blank out part of their beam so they don't dazzle oncoming drivers. I'll quickly show you what the lights look like on this car at night. So here's the rear signature, and come around, we'll have a look at the front. Voila. Unmistakable. Ready? Watch this. Close. Wow. I don't know why I'm making that noise. Open glove box. There we go. Close glove box. This command is not available. Why is close glove box not available, but open is? Let's just press tab on here. Look, just weird. Maybe that's because it's pre-production. I hope so. I mean, come on.
I'm pretty sure it's not a problem though, because you can just push it back in with your hand. So it's definitely okay, no problem.
And of course you can do this, look. To move them that way. So I can move the front seat forward. So if I really want to create a lot of room in this particular seat, look at that. Yeah, look at all this space. You can really stretch out then, look. Look at that. It's like a limousine. The rear doors open to 90 degrees pretty much, so it makes it nice and easy to get in and out. Plus, if I pull on this little strap here, see that? Pull that, I can lift this up. And I guess if you needed to, you could then have a sleep here, couldn't you? Anyway, let's check out the boot. 2,800 litres, which is better than all its electric rivals and better than a normal F-150 with a petrol engine. It's pretty impressive.
Compared to F-150 Lightning, Cybertruck has double the space.
I wonder if I can fit in here with this shut. Let's give it a go. Come on. Come on. Ow! Oh, no, not quite.
It seemed like that actually hurt.
The dash is so deep and the windscreen so steeply raked that it's going to be very hard to clean the glass in the corners. So we go. Gonna get there. No, can't. No, no. Give up.
But how often do you actually need to do that? Pretty much never, so I think it's fine.
As you can see, the doors don't cover the sills, which means that when you've been like off-roading and stuff, and you're getting it in and out, because the sills protrude, you end up dragging your legs over the back of the sills, and if you're wearing trousers, you're going to just get dirt all over them. I'm not so bothered because I've got my beautiful legs out. But yeah, it's going to be a bit annoying. Ah, damn it.
Yeah, if it's a rainy day, you will definitely want to watch out. Otherwise, you will get really dirty.
Should you avoid it? Should you consider it? Should you shortlist it? Or should you just go right ahead and buy it? Well, it's only available in North America, but if you live in North America and you want the most unique vehicle currently on sale, you should go right ahead and buy the Tesla Cybertruck. In fact, I put my money where my mouth is, and I put one on order. And I'm going to see if I can buy one, then ship it to the UK and drive it there.
Yeah, make sure to like and subscribe if you haven't yet, and I will see you in tomorrow's episode. Thank you so much for watching.